Okay, so 14. Year 9 students from Howell School were asked to choose one language to study. So we've got some information in the table about some Year 9s who've chosen which language they want to do. The table shows the information about their choices. So we've got 56 people doing French, 40 doing Spanish, and 24 have chosen to study German. Alright, so, first things first. The question is going to ask you to draw a pie chart. Alright, so this diagram here is the answer. Now, in the exam, it's just a blank circle. Now, I don't have the technological know-how about how to show you how to draw it with a protractor. So what I've done is I'm going to show you how you work out the answer, and then, this to show you that this would actually be the final answer. Alright, so first thing you need to do if you're drawing a pie chart is work out how many things you're going to put in it. So how many students are we going to put in it? How many students go to this school? So we've got 56, 14, 24. You can add it up in columns. So you've got 6, 0 and 4. That makes 10. So carry the 1. 5 and 4 is 9, plus the 2 is 11, plus the 1 is 12. So there are 120 students at the school. Okay? So you are putting 120 students into a pie chart or into a circle. So you've got to work out, how many degrees are each of the subjects worth? Well, how many degrees is each student worth? If you've got 120 kids to put in there, how many does each one of those represent in terms of degrees? So, we've got 360 degrees in our circle, and we're sharing it between 120 people. Alright, so when we're sharing, we tend to be dividing, don't we? So what is 120 divided by 360? Well, if you know your 12 times table, and you should, 12, 24, 36, that goes in 3 times. Alright, so 120 goes into 360 3 times. Each student, let's do a little picture here, give me an excuse to draw a stick man. Each person is worth 3 degrees, alright? Each student is worth 3 degrees. So you've got 56 doing French, 40 doing Spanish, and 24 doing German. So we need to work out the number of degrees that this is going to be in our diagram. So degrees here. And you do that by timesing it by 3, because every student is worth 3 degrees. So we times it by 3 and see what we get. Okay, so let's do some working. 56 times 3, and we're going to use this column method. It's nice and quick. 3 times 6 is 18, so carry the 1. 3 times 5 is 15, plus the 1 is 16, so that's 168 for French. Spanish next, so 40 times 3, you probably don't need to do this in a column, but let's do it anyway. 3 times 0 is 0, 3 times 4 is 12, so 120. And the last one, German, 24 times 3. Okay, and we need to show our working, so you pick up marks. So best to show everything that you're doing in case you make a silly mistake. 3 times 4 is 12, carry the 1. 3 times 2 is 6, with the 1 is 7. So 72. And you can see those numbers match what I've put into the actual final answer here. And I've labelled each section. You have to label, the parts of your pie chart. So, if you don't know how to draw the pie chart, you need a protractor. And you'd be measuring, so you put your 0, you'd put your 0 here, and rest your protractor on the 0 line. So you'd line up the red lines, if you like. I'm making the red marks. And you'd measure on the outside, because you start at 0, measure round to 168 and put a mark there. Okay, so I'm down here on the real thing, and then I'd connect it to the centre. Then I'd turn my protractor right round so that 0 was here. And then I'd measure from 0 round this way to 120. And then I put 0. Well, you always get the last one for free, they say, because you don't need to measure that because it's the only one left. And you should have 72 degrees left once you've done the first and the second sections, alright? So hopefully it's given you an idea of how you do a pie chart, and if you don't know how to use a protractor, buy one and practice. Don't think that you can just roughly do this. You might think, oh, I've been doing these questions without a protractor my entire career and I've been getting them right. That's probably because your teacher just hasn't been bothered to mark them properly. The examiners are going to mark them properly. Get a protractor. Make sure you do it correctly, alright?